English now.
I thought I'll read out a little passage because Sudha ji, I had requested her to read it, but she doesn't like to read.
I only write, I said I don't read.
So, you know, you won't get a sense of the book unless we'll talk a little bit about this particular book, and then we'll also throw it open to the audience because I know all of you have many questions to ask her. But just to give the sense of it, this is the first of the two novellas. It's this, the hero, the main character is called Venkatesh. Venkatesh hardly heard her. He was still pondering over why his father was known by a different name. He asked Bhagava, what was your husband's name? Setu, that's what everybody called him. I also used that name during our marriage rituals. This is an abandoned wife of this young man discovers that he has a brother and that his father had abandoned his earlier wife. Venkatesh noticed that she didn't blame the man who had left her pregnant and alone. He probed further. What did Champaka call her son at home? Venkatesh still hoped to discover that maybe this man was not his father after all. Bala, she said simply. Yes, it was him. Venkatesh had no doubt anymore. Tears were flowing down Bhagava's cheeks. Knowing his father, Venkatesh was sure he must have kept some souvenir of his old life. He asked, Abba, what did your family give Setu during the wedding? We were really poor at that time. I think Uncle Gopal gave him 100 rupees as dowry and a ring. What kind of ring? A gold ring with the letter Bha written in Sanskrit. So this is how this man discovers this. He finds a lookalike, a hamshakal, and the story unravels. And as I said, it's a beautifully crafted story. And then I'll give you a little sense of the second story, so that when she talks about...
The second story at that end, I think I liked it. Whosoever is my mother, I belong to India. You know, that is the word.
But the last paragraph of the book ends like this. She stood up and went in search for him. She found him standing outside on the balcony gazing at the sky. Silently, she came up from behind, touched his shoulder and put an arm around his waist. You may be anybody's son, but you'll always be my husband, she said. So they are very, very, very moving and touching books. So the first question I want to ask Sudhaji is that, you know, there's a bit of the Mahabharata in these. There's a feeling of Karna and Kunti with less pressure on the Varnashrams. And then there's the foster mother theme, like Yashoda Maya, Lord Krishna. So what Sita, Janak, the epics, did their epics and their treatment of the theme influence your perceptions?
You know, I work in social field, and I have seen many people come to me and tell them, look, we don't have children, will you help? It is like, you know, you are a financial consultant, you are a marketing consultant. In my case, I'm, I think, an orphanage consultant or something, that kind. So when people come and say, my own students, ma'am, we don't have children, we want to adopt, will you suggest? Because I know many orphanages where children are born abandoned, and sometimes or many times I know the reason why they have been abandoned, and I connect these children to really good parents, you know, who want to bring up the child. And later I wonder, this in my mind, what the child thinks of his or her biological parents. And I have found out, invariably they go, when they grow up and they come to know they have been adopted, they will ask this question, who is my biological mother? More than a father, they ask, who is my biological mother? And why did she abandon me? A sense of betrayal comes. Why did she abandon me? And what is the reason? And they always want to search the biological mother. Sometimes yes, sometimes they may not find. And if you are economically successful, then you feel it was good that she gave me an adoption because I could lead a better life. And if you are very sensitive, then that grudge remains that she abandoned me, she abandoned me. It is left to the child's psychology, probably a sense of gratitude or sense of understanding why mother leaves the baby. It's not easy for a mother to leave a baby in real life. I have seen many unwed mothers in my work. It is very hard for a mother to leave the child. But when she does that, there is really a reason for that, and the child will not understand. The child only gets upset that she has abandoned me. So I realize that a child is always in quest or search of a mother, and when he or she meets the mother, once they realize, then I think there will be peace inside. And that is one of the reasons that I have done in this novel, that Mukesh, who is the hero of the novel, second novel, he goes and searches. He has not only one, he has altogether 3 mothers. And it's like a detective story. That's what you were telling me yesterday. And he realizes that it was good my mother gave me away. Otherwise I would have been a gunda, I would have been a spoiled child, I would have been an uneducated person. But my adopted mother actually gave me a better life. I'm sure Krishna, though Devaki gave him birth and adopted by Yashoda, he was always Yashoda Nandana than Devaki Putraha, because he learned all the tactic, all the knowledge, how to behave, how to manage everything from his adopted mother Yashoda. So he's always Yashoda Putraha, I will always say that one.